Hello everybody, it's Nym and welcome back to a brand new series on my channel. Of course, it is still Planet Zoo because that's what I like to build in. For any other games, I like to refer you to my second channel, link is in the description. But anyways, going back to this video, we are back with a brand new zoo since I ran out of inspiration for the Creek Zoo. Temporarily, perhaps, I'm not quite sure. Anyway, so we are tackling a new project. This was actually an idea I had quite a while ago, and it is based off this very fantasy-like theme. At least in my mind it is. Also, all the noises you're hearing in the background are my cats. I don't know why. Anyways, we are building a fairy tale inspired zoo. Roughly inspired. Once we get the hang of the building, you will see why I refer to it as fairy tale. And I think I'm gonna call this Silver Lane Park. I quite like that name, or Silver Lane Zoo. I'm not quite sure, one of the two, you'll notice it in the title, I haven't decided yet. Anyways, this video you're looking at about, what is it, 21 minutes, 22 perhaps, something like that. In real life, this took me roughly 3 to 4 hours. And that was mainly because I built bit by bit. And I was an idiot because halfway through I realized that the building is completely symmetrical. And I could have easily just built one side of the building and then copy and paste that to the other side. Of course, I only noticed that when I was halfway through. But that's fine. That doesn't matter. I mean, it was all fun. And to be honest, you get the hang of building doing that. That's typically true. Yeah, I see me just copying it over while I should have just... It's symmetrical. Why am I being such a hazard about it? Oh well. It doesn't really matter. It has been quite a long time since I've done a voiceover, so I'm hoping that you guys can follow my voiceover skills. Also, all the noise in the background, besides being my cat, is also the road, because I have my windows open because it's actually quite warm. And they're doing some road maintenance outside of my house. So, hooray for that. I hope it's not too disturbing. I will try to mute it as much as possible when I'm editing the sounds, but we'll see about that. So basically, the style you're thinking of is like this really sort of German village-like style, perhaps? I feel like it comes really close to the very old German towns. A lot of woodwork, a lot of plaster. Then we are gonna go with some red roofs, just because I like that. And this is the entrance, by the way. We're making a grand entrance, and the goal which I had, it was to kind of make it look like a castle, which I don't think worked. And so halfway I was like, you know what, we're just gonna build this sort of medieval fantasy village. And, you know, given that it's fantasy, I can do whatever I want. And that's actually pretty helpful and pretty good. So I'm happy with that. You can see me just, you know, copying more things over because I'm just... That's how I build. I'm not really good with building in this game. And I don't mean like I'm not a good builder, because I think I can say about myself that I am actually quite a good builder. I'm not afraid of saying that. I don't think it sounds like cocky or anything. I'm just, you know, I'm a pretty good builder. I'm just not a very handy builder. Again, cats in the background. Instead of building one thing and then copying it over, I copy every little single thing. And you'll notice that when I start to do the rest of the building. Hence also the reason why I cut almost most of it out. Because I just couldn't bear with it, because I was looking back at myself and I was like, why didn't I just copy the entire left side and then copied it on the right? But I built the entire left side and then I started building the entire right side, comparing bits, and I was like, why am I doing this? This is so stupid. But whatever. Here we are trying to make this balcony look awesome. So I'm trying this little archway. It didn't really work, so we're gonna try it with bits of wood now. Obviously, first we're gonna place a door down so I know how big the arch actually needs to be. And I don't remember keeping this or not. I'm not quite sure on that. I do remember building this and thinking, man, this is bad. I don't know why the hell I'm doing this, because this is just bad. It's not the perfect arch. Let's just leave it at that. And I'm sure a lot of people can do better. And that's fine. But we're learning. And I'm learning with you guys. Oh yeah. I think I'm actually trying to fill this up with multiple other little beams. It's been a while since I've built this actually. It is now May. I think I started this zoo like June last year. It was gonna be my summer project, but then I did other stuff. So yeah. You know, life happens. Here we are building some cute little towers, which also took me a lot of time because first I tried to build it out of plaster. You know, like the round bits. The round wall pieces. That's what I meant. But they were way too big, and then I saw these, and I think those are from the... I want to say the Moroccan expansion, but I don't think there's an expansion pack of Morocco. Is there? Desert Deluxe? No, that's Sims 4. I don't know, the one with all the cool features. So these plaster bits are from there. Yeah, and I was trying to make this queue look like a normal queue, but it didn't work because I want this really small pathway going up here. But I didn't want guests to be able to use it, so it had to be a queue. So I didn't just want guests to just mindlessly walk there and then complaining about the scenery as all the guests always do. And I have to be honest with you guys, like right now it looks pretty awful and I'm well aware of that. It will look better. I promise. Like, give it 5 minutes, it will look a whole lot better because at least then it will have a roof. Look there, the roof on the towers. Doesn't that look way better already? And then we are actually making the roof here on the main structure. And I'm just so happy I don't have to build anything on the inside. I've played Planet Coaster as well, and I was building a haunted mansion because I thought, oh well, that is relatively easy. It's not, because you have to build the entire mansion, and not just the outside, but the inside as well. And I'm the sort of person that builds the outside first, and then worries about the inside, which was a mistake. Honestly, just a mistake. That video about a haunted house somewhere on my channel, I think. I started to create my own Blizzard Park. That didn't work as well. Yeah, Planet Coaster I like it, but I don't think it's for me. Planet Zoo on the other hand, I like it very much, and I feel like the building skills are more up to my level. I feel like Planet Coaster is really tricky in some bits. And Planet Zoo is easier, and I think that has something to do with better game mechanics. But what do I know? I'm not an expert. So here we are making this little railing for the balcony, and I do think I end up copying this over. I'm not quite sure, but look, look, look. Oh no, I just built it again, like I did with the rest of the building. But look, now the other sides of the building are done. Do you see the vibe that I'm going for? And obviously this what we're cutting out now will be water, and there will be a lake around it. Like semi around it, not all the way, but almost all the way around it. And then underneath will be pathways. And there will also be a parking lot. Yeah, and this is me struggling with the path system, which is not new to anybody. And it's mainly has to do with I was too lazy to actually flatten the terrain because I didn't want to switch all the time, so I was like, ugh. So you see that there again, I was like, there's this hole in the terrain, I tried to fix it, didn't fix. Ugh. It is such an easy step, just click on terrain and level it out. But somehow I didn't do that, just like here, I was like, no man. Don't want to do that, I just want it to work like I want. And it didn't work like that, but in the end I got it to work. Same on the other side, just level the terrain and then 9 out of 10 times the pathway usually works reasonably okay. Now we're in for a bit of a trick with the water and what looks good, what doesn't look good. Especially with the water levels, and then I decided, you know what, I actually think I want these two sides to be connected. So we're gonna build a little bit of a passage as well. In the end. But before we do that, we're gonna make a rock formation. So get ready for this zoo, there will be a lot of rock formations because I actually really like landscaping. I've said it before and I'll say it again, if there ever comes a Planet Botanical, I am totally buying it and only playing that. Same with Planet Park. Please. Please. Ah, that would be a joy. It would be really cool to build like really big museums. Well, that's probably more enough for me. Although there is going to be a Planko too, isn't there? Did I hear that correctly? I thought I heard that correctly somewhere. There is going to be a City Skylines too. Somewhere in 2023. So somewhere this year. City Skylines too, which I'm buying as well because I love City Skylines. Not that I'm actually that good about in it, because all my cities always go bankrupt or burn down. Yeah. Oh yeah, this thing. Here I was trying to build this cool waterfall, and then I decided, nope, didn't work. First I wanted to work with like the special effects waterfalls, and then I decided, you know what, I'm actually just gonna use this pre-fab waterfall. It is there. Let's just use it. So we're using 5 of these, and then we're gonna sculpt around them. And then again, you have the body of water, which you can't landscape in. There is a mod for that. I don't have mods installed, because I don't really trust them, and I don't trust myself with mods. That especially. And then you go, we have this little walkway, which is really cute. And now, obviously, there is no land at all anymore around our plaza. So we're gonna delete the water again. And then we're gonna build more land. Because you do need some sort of passage for bridges, obviously. There you go. I believe we're gonna put some ivy on this main building, the entrance. Because I was looking at it and I was just thinking, it looks really staged. That was the word. I thought it looked really staged, so I wanted to make it a little bit more greener, a little bit more run down. So I decided to place a lot of ivy. Like a lot of ivy. And I feel like it actually worked out. And in the end, like this area here, underneath the balcony there in the back, we are actually going to place 2 little shops. You saw me planning it out there. And if I remember correctly, it was a Cosmic Cow milkshake and a Mizzy Goods. Or a Monsieur Fry. One or the 2. I always make sure I have something to eat and something to drink. And here we are just putting more ivy in it, because more ivy is always better. Even though ivy in real life is really bad for the foundation of your walls, because it sucks out all the moisture of your walls and it can actually lead to collapse of your structure of your building. So in real life, I like to look at it, but I don't want it on my own house. Now we are more landscaping, obviously. We're using these big bushes and these lovely big plants, which I always forget the name of, but I have them on my own balcony, so I actually should remember it, but that's okay. And I believe those were holy trees that we were putting down, and some elk trees? I'm just making this up, I have no clue. And I was wondering what trees to actually put down, because I didn't want to overshadow the way the building looks, but I also wanted it really green, so I couldn't use like this big elm tree or oak tree. So we had to be a little bit more smaller, and then I realized, you know what? If this is going to be like a fairy tale castle, let's have these bushes and align them exactly on the other side of the path as well to make them look fancy. And I actually feel like it looks a lot better already. I mean, do you guys agree? And then I thought, we need a feature. So I removed some of the pathway, and we are actually going to build this little, what is it called, fountain. And I don't build fountains very often, but I do feel like this fountain actually worked out pretty well. It's reasonably stable, obviously not exact, but who cares? We're gonna use this deer because I felt like, you know, how to make an entrance. Ironically, the first animals I actually placed inside a habitat were also deers. Huh, funny. Now this is obviously built in sandbox. So when we do start building habitats, I'm not going to take animal needs into consideration that much. So sorry, not sorry, but that's just the way it is. Yikes. Animal needs, we can do that in our franchise zoos. Yeah, those brackens weren't really working, so we're deleting those again because... Yikes. I'm actually using this little, I don't know what they're called. They're not the Dutch flowers, they're dwarf clovers? I'm not sure what they're called. I don't recall that. There, it looks a lot better already. So right now we're adding a little bit of details on the buildings, and then we are moving to the back of the building and actually creating our plaza. So we're deleting 2 wall bits, going back to our plaster, making it bright white, and placing it in again. And then here are going to be 2 shops. As I said, there was a Cosmic Cow milkshake and a Missy Goods, and I believe those are donuts. Yes, those are the donuts. So obviously it wouldn't be a shop without, you know, signs. So I just placed a lot of signs basically everywhere, just like, ooh, look, donuts, buy me. And then these little, I don't know what they are, like stand signs. And the Cosmic Cow signs are really, really big. So I was like, no, let's put a canopy above it instead. So we're going with this one, and I actually really like this one. I believe I used this one in my little Italy zoo as well. And then we're going to use this Australian plank to kind of add like a counter. So people can like put money on that. I feel like that's really common in zoos in my country at least, so quite like it. And then we had a list of pricing, and I couldn't remember how to spell pricing, so I ended up, or prices. So I ended up spelling pricing because I knew how to spell that. And here we are with the parking lot. So I wanted to be semi-realistic as well. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna build a parking lot. I've never done that before, or almost never done that before. I did it in the Creek Zoo. We're using this plaster beams and just lowering them down. And then you copy them over and you can make actual parking spots. So that's pretty cool. And instead of the normal spawn points, we are having the buses. So we have 2 buses, and I believe that's it of spawn points. And I was looking at this parking lot, and I was thinking, yeah, this parking lot looks really strange actually. It's just a random parking lot. So what I did, I placed a lot of trees besides it to make it look a little bit more closed in, a little bit more natural. And we also, I also decided to build a little bit of a ticket booth here. So I feel like that's really cool, and you can see me struggling with copy and pasting because I genuinely didn't remember how to do it, and it didn't work the way I wanted to because it was flipped and it was so darn annoying. Just next time I ever build something like this, I'm learning from my mistakes here. That's why I left this in here. Please learn from my mistakes. Do what I say, not as I do. So in here we're gonna have a little balloon shop and an information point, so the guests will be able to buy tickets there. Obviously they don't do that in game, but we can pretend that they are, so you know, that's really cool. And again here with the over exaggeration on beams and making sure it has that real, you know, small town fantasy feel. And it keeps reminding me of Germany as well. I mean, sorry, it just does. Yeah, this roof obviously way too big. Way too big. So I was thinking perhaps we can make it work. We can't. So we're gonna try for this same clay bit, but just a little bit smaller. Just like that. And then I put the plastic pieces in, and I realized that the actual plastic pieces of the side structure, it wasn't placed correctly, so I had to move it all again, and it was so annoying. And you, like, the amount of times I was thinking, oh my gosh, just leave it, whatever. It's insanely high in this building, because this building had all the irritations. Like, honestly. So and then I decided, you know what, there's Ivy on the main building. Let's put Ivy on this as well. And I actually feel like it worked pretty well. So like I said, we have Looney Balloons here with a lovely balloon sign, and we have these information stands. And we put one on this side because I felt like that's something that people do. I don't know why, I just thought that. So this parking lot still looks really weird to me, so we're putting some rock foundations down and we're gonna fill it up with some other plants. We also have a fence going around it, so the fence is, well, I'll probably say multiple purposes. It prevents guests from just entering the zoo without buying a ticket. Obviously in real life it would do that, in game it doesn't because everyone just enters through the entrance gates. But it also keeps the animals out. And I just felt it looked professional, so, you know. Trying to make it look like a somehow real forest. I think I succeeded pretty good at that, actually. Especially with different color trees. So that we're using those yellow trees. I believe those are maple trees. I'm not quite sure. But I believe they were green, yellow maple trees. And then we add different types of grass in there with different heights. Just to make it look all that more realistic. And we are gonna put some rocks in there as well at the end. Ooh, wow, look at that. I almost talked about a complete voiceover already. And I'm sure half of it is just, you know, random stuff and not even concerned about the actual building. Yeah, look, there's the fence. That's what we did. And then, you know, obviously we had to do the same thing on the other side, so. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to use that fence for an actual habitat or just a facade fence. Probably just a facade fence. Just have a feeling about that, I'm not quite sure. Like, this zoo isn't really planned out. I just opened it and I thought, oh yeah, parking lot, let's do that. To make it a little bit more realistic, because I didn't want the guests to just randomly spawn in front of the actual fountain, so. Anyways, look at that. It's looking all better now. I like it. If you like it as well, make sure to give it a like. You know, give a thumbs up in this video. You can comment what you feel about it. Also, if you have any tips or feedback, just let me know in the comments down below. And if you haven't already, you can subscribe to the channel if you would like. And like I said in the beginning, a link to my second channel is down below. And I will leave you guys now, and I will hope to see you on the next video. Bye guys!